Hey boys and girls, and welcome back to lesson 5 of STEM for Term 2 2020. I'm so excited that you're back watching these videos and tuning in with me online, either through YouTube or finding me through the OneNote or a staff email. Boys and girls, thank you so much for all the hard work you've done this term up until this point. I've loved the work that I've been receiving from the students at home and seeing what the students at school have been coming up with as well. I can see that everyone is well and truly engaged with our animal adaptations unit and looking at those things that link with our design technologies unit and what you'll be learning about in science this term as well. So last week we talked about how the design technologies have been implemented in the real world and how people had come up with things that have allowed humans to live or to access our 3 main environments. Again, do you remember what they are? I certainly hope you do by week 5. Let's have a think now. Okay, so our first environment that we have been talking about is the desert. Our next environment that we've been talking about is the Arctic. And finally, our last environment that we've been looking at is the ocean. So last week, your task was to list 5 inventions for each of these 3 environments that have enabled humans to either survive there or to access that environment. And in this week's lesson, we're going to build upon that a little further. So for this week's lesson, you're going to need a piece of paper and a pencil, and you're going to need to put your thinking cap back on. So you're going to pick one of those 3 environments. It is completely up to you which one you are going to focus on today. And we're going to expand on the ideas you came up with last week by designing a shelter. So we're going to design some sort of shelter for a human that would enable them to survive in that environment. You're going to need to think about drawing a floor plan, like a bird's eye view layout of what that shelter would need to make sure that that human person was able to survive and that their needs were being met despite the harsh reality of that environment that they're in. What do you think they would need to have in that shelter in order to survive in the environment you've picked? Because they're going to have very, very significantly different requirements depending on the environment you've picked. So you're going to draw that layout on your sheet and your piece of paper, and you're going to keep that safe. I would love for you to, if you can, upload it to OneNote or email me a copy of the design of your shelter floor plan. I would love to see it. If not, make sure you're keeping it safe so that you can return it to me when you're back at school and have it for future lessons. Thank you so much for tuning in, boys and girls. I can't wait to see what you've come up with and also what you think is an important resource for a human to have in those different environments. Thanks so much. Bye.